What is happening, people? My name is Josh and you're watching 1 year on with the Apple Watch. So today we're just going to be recapping on a few functions that the Apple Watch has, what I use it for, what I absolutely love about my Apple Watch, possible downsides to the Apple Watch, and whether or not I would recommend the Apple Watch to somebody in 2023. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So with the Apple Watch Ultra 2 being on the verge of release, I thought it'd be a good idea to revisit my purchase for my Apple Watch Ultra. So before I jump into anything else, let me just say I absolutely love the Apple Watch Ultra. There is not much else out there that I am this enthusiastic about. However, whatever my opinion is, just remember fundamentally it is still an Apple Watch. Starting off with some of the features I use the most, the first one I use the most by far is Siri. Now a lot of people use Siri but in different ways. Personally, I use Siri to make phone calls, set reminders, and just generally do things that I can't do without access to my phone. What I mean by that is, for instance, if I am moving a car on the forecourt, then I don't have access to my phone. Naturally, I leave my phone on my desk. Having access to all my contacts from my wrist is so powerful. It has honestly got me out of so many pickles on a day-to-day basis. The next one would probably be the Mail app. I use this more than anything else to archive, flag, and reply to emails just on the fly. Something which is so simple, you'd never really think of doing, but you just have instant access to do it. Touching back on the telephone app, I think this is a crucial one, especially when answering or declining calls. And of course, there's other apps that I use all the time, like the camera app, which you can see on my wrist at the moment, which I'm literally watching myself record myself. So for that purpose alone, super powerful. Again, with all these apps, you don't have to have an Apple Watch Ultra. I'm just mentioning what I use with mine. The next one will be the weather app. Living in England, we don't really know what the weather's going to be like, so we try and follow the app as much as we can. And needless to say, it's fantastic just having it on my wrist so I can see exactly what the weather's like for the day, allowing me to prepare for my day. Some other useful features is an instant replying to messages, which we all know about, and a few other cool things like that. Another feature that I absolutely love on my Apple Watch is the action button, which is hidden away just there. The action button is new, completely new to the Apple Watch Ultra. Hopefully we're going to see it transpire across other devices because it is such a handy feature to have. But what I use mine for is actually the flashlight. More often than not at night time, having a bright torch is too powerful, especially if, like me, you are the last one to go to bed. But with that in mind, having the flashlight in your wrist is very subtle, it's quite light, not overwhelming, and it's perfect just to tap and be able to see where I want to go. There's a whole host of features that I'm not going to mention in this video. If you do want to watch my full review of the Apple Watch Ultra, please click in the link in the description. So moving on to the battery, this was probably one of the biggest reasons why I changed my Apple Watch Series 5. Needless to say, the promotion for the Apple Watch was that it could last 3 whole days. Now, I haven't managed 3 whole days. I've managed about 2.5. Even so, 2.5 days from an Apple Watch is a huge jump. Don't get me wrong, a Series 8 can last a day and a bit, maybe 2 days, but I've got at least 10 to 20% left on the 2.5 days. Not saying it's the best watch out there for battery life, but it's definitely an improvement from Apple. One thing to note is that I haven't changed any settings on mine. For instance, I still have always on display, background app refresh, heart rate monitors. Ultimately, I've just got a stock Apple Watch with the face, everything going off all the time, and I'm still getting 2 to 2.5 days usage before I have to charge it. Now, just because I can get that doesn't mean I don't charge it. I actually charge my watch around 40%. So it doesn't really matter for me personally, but it's a huge benefit knowing that if I need it, my watch can last 2.5 days. Over the duration of owning the Apple Watch Ultra, I haven't noticed any slip in performance of the battery, so I'm quite comfortable to say that it's still just as good as the day I bought it. Aesthetically, the watch still looks great. I have taken a few bashes to it. One of the instances was a door handle. I'll try and capture it on the screen and show you guys exactly how it happened and what it looks like now, but ultimately it survived. And that was a key moment for me, knowing I made the right purchase. On a few occasions, I dropped my Series 5, had a few wear and tear marks, pitting on the side, the usual stuff. With the Ultra, I have received absolutely nil. There is little to no damage on this thing whatsoever. Honestly, I'd say this is probably one of the strongest Apple Watches that has ever been made. The advert did not lie. It is hella rugged and hella awesome. I also absolutely love the style of this thing, which leads me on nicely to the Apple Watch bands. What was really nice to see Apple do with the bands was make them universal, which is similar to what we've had previously. You can actually continue using your old bands, including your leather bands, and of course your third-party bands. Now, there is a rumor that Apple would change it to magnetic straps or bands, but for the time being, I absolutely love the Ultra bands that are available. I did end up purchasing all three, so I've got a great selection, which I think they're absolutely fantastic. If you want to watch my semi-review on those, again, the link is in the description. Now, despite absolutely loving the Apple Watch Ultra, I have to be realistic. There is a slight downside in certain instances. The pure presence of the Ultra is fantastic until you're trying to go to bed. So it's not a complaint, not even a qualm. It is simply acknowledging that it's a big watch. And in truth, it's not a problem, because if it ever gets too much, I simply take it off, put it on charge, and go to bed. So ultimately, there are no issues with the Apple Watch, in my opinion. Now, something I'd really like to see is the price to come down on the Apple Watch Ultra, seeing as we're getting a new Apple Watch Ultra. Now, what that looks like, I don't know, but it will make a fantastic price point if this would be below $700, which is £700. So in case it isn't abundantly clear, I absolutely love my Apple Watch Ultra. It's easily the most used device in my entire ecosystem, and potentially my favorite. So, would I personally upgrade to the Apple Watch Ultra? 100%. It is, hands down, one of the best Apple Watches ever made. It will be very interesting to see what the Ultra 2 can bring to the table, but fundamentally, the Apple Watch has set way for something completely new. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below on the Apple Watch Ultra. Do you think it's going to be worth upgrading to in 2023? I'd love to hear what you guys think. My name is Josh. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you guys in the next video.